trigger alert, okay? If you can see the screen, if you know what this is, like, I'm gonna do it. I don't care. Everybody else is doing it. Why can't I do it too? This is America, and we have freedom. Freedom of speech, right? We can all believe in what we want to believe in, right? We heard from other people what they believe. Like we heard what Scotty Scheffler believes, and we heard all this other stuff, right? And so I'm just going to tell you, if you're a Bryson DeChambeau fanboy, you might want to just end it right now, right? Don't put yourself through this. Don't. And don't get in the comments. Don't get all mad. Don't get all, I don't want to hear it. I just want to talk about what happened, okay? And I don't want to talk about what someone else told me happened. I want to talk about what I saw with my eyes, because I can believe my own eyes. And a big problem with golf, and a big problem with your game, everybody's game, big problem, is that you don't believe your own eyes. You believe what other people are telling you. You're watching somebody do something, and you're believing them. You're just taking them for their word. And it's weird because you're watching it, and you're like, that's not what I saw. Oh, but you know, this guy said that that's what it was, or he said, and I'm supposed to believe that guy over my own eyes. This is a huge problem, I believe, in America. Actually, people are like, they watch something go down, and then someone else is like, this is what happened, and you're like, what? And then their fanboys are like, he said it, so I believe what he said. They don't believe themselves. I want you to believe in yourself. I have another video where I talk about I believe in you more than you believe in you. But I need you to believe in yourself. I need you to trust your own eyes. So let's talk about what happened. Always stay hydrated. So Bryson played this hole. This is the 5th hole at Royal Birkdale. And I put myself pretty much, I think, where his ball was. Okay? So I got to tap this so I can hit it. But it doesn't matter about me hitting it. It doesn't matter. But this is what happened. He hit his ball. See these red stakes? It's probably hard to see them. But there's red stakes here. Which means that he's out of bounds. Okay? And the rules of golf say that if you're out of bounds, and you can find your ball, and you want to play it, you can play it. Unless like there's a local rule that says like you can't play from that out of bounds or whatever. But he's out of bounds, and he's like there's grass, like really tall grass. Like I have eyes, I can see it. Right? It's bad. And he's like tucked up in the corner near these trees and stuff. He's out of the way. And he knows, like, you know, he wants to win the tournament. Of course he wants to win the tournament. He wants to find that ball, and he wants to be able to play it. Right? And can't fault him for that. Right? He wants to win it. And he goes up there, and you can see, there's the longer video. You can see him, he's moving quick. He's going up there. It's fine. He's on the time clock. He needs to move quick. It's whatever. And he finds his ball. He sees it. Right, and it's in some grass. There's like some grass here, kind of tall, and then right behind him, there's some very tall grass. Okay, the problem is that if he went to swing, like the tall grass, like it was going to affect his swing, and then when he came down, it was going to affect his swing. It was going to be probably impossible to hit the ball, at least to the green, and there's trouble in front. There's a pond here, right? You can't see it on TV. But there's a pond here. So he definitely doesn't want to hit it out of this into the pond, right? Because then he's got even more problems. Like he could get like a 10 real easy. So he does not want to hit it in the pond. So he has to make sure that he can hit it good. Okay? And he doesn't want to take the penalty. He doesn't want to have to go back to the tee box and hit again. He might end up there again. So he wants to hit it. It's human nature. I understand that. Okay, completely human. And so he wants to hit it, and he gets in there, and he doesn't think that anybody's looking. He thinks he's going to get away with it. And, like, he starts mowing down the grass. Right? He was doing this. Right? That's not how normal people walk. I watched the golf tournament for multiple days. Right? I watched him walk. For multiple days. Never did I see him do this. When he walked, never. People don't walk like that. The only time anyone walks like this is when they're pushing down grass. And when you see it and you hear him, it's intentional. Okay? Every golfer has done it. I know everyone says that and everyone's like, oh, I never did that. When I was playing golf and I was shooting in the hundreds and I was in the woods all the time, was I moving my ball around? Yeah. Did it matter? No. Why didn't it matter? Because I wasn't playing for anything. I just wanted to hit one out. Like, I should have just picked it up and put it in the fairway. But, he's in there and he's chopping it down, right? He's in the hazard. You're not allowed to go and start chopping stuff down in the hazard. You're out of bounds, right? The rules say that when you're in the out of bounds area, you have to be extra careful with the surrounding area, right? There's a reason they don't want you tearing up the nature. Like, they already tore up nature to build the course. Like, you're out of bounds. You have to respect it. You have to respect the rules. And so he knows the rules, right? This is Bryson DeChambeau. He's a genius. We've been hearing for years how this guy, if he wasn't a pro golfer, he'd be a NASA. He'd be, this guy's so much better than the rest of us. Right? That's what I've been hearing for years. This guy's just better than us. He's smarter than us. He's better at golf than us. And yeah, he's a great golfer. I don't think he's smart. I don't think that dude's smart at all. Right? And they say that he's so smart with like math and angles and technology. They say that he's so smart with all this stuff. Okay, this is part of it. Okay, he knows all the rules, right? He's so smart that he has to know the rules, right? When they confronted him with this, he said that he certainly didn't want to just come right out and admit that like he didn't know the rules of golf. That would be pretty embarrassing. Oh, I'm the super genius. I've played all my life, and I'm smarter than everybody. All my clubs are the same length, and I'm smarter. And I've seen just a couple of his YouTube videos on accident. But he'll hit a putt, he'll miss it, and he'll be like, "Oh, I knew that was 33 feet, not 32 feet." And it's like, dude, come on with that. Like, I'm not stupid, right? Like, you missed. And you're always looking for excuses. Every time you see this guy hit, if it isn't like dead nuts perfect, he just turns and he stares at his caddy, looks at it every time. He overshoots one by 2 feet, hops off the green or something, and you see that? Can you believe that? Can you believe I'm perfect. I'm Bryson DeChambeau, right? So he's up in there, and dude, he goes for it. And so he's stomping that grass down. Right? You can see. Just go back and look. You can just look at pictures, images, whatever. There's all this straight grass, right? And it just so happens that exactly where his club path is, it's all laid down. It's on an angle like this. Just so happens where he can come through like it was an act of God or something. Like there's a magic man in the sky hoping that Bryson can win the tournament, and he's going to help him out by making sure that like his ball just happened to land out of bounds, right? But where he could get a swing to it, right? Right? Who believes that? Like Scottie Scheffler believes that. It's a whole different story. But anyway, Scottie Scheffler believes that like Bryson didn't cheat. So Bryson had two choices when he got confronted. They could have either said, "Hey man, you broke the rules. This is the rule, you broke it." And he could have said, "I didn't know that was a rule," which is still a penalty, regardless, right? But he could say, "I didn't know that was a rule." He could have just been like, "Oh, I wasn't trying to cheat. I would never try to cheat. I wasn't aware that was a rule. I'm sorry. I'll take my 2-stroke penalty, and we're good to go," right? Taking that 2-stroke penalty probably was better than him actually going back to the tee, right? So taking that 2-stroke penalty, I mean, he really shouldn't probably have complained about that. And I don't know, people aren't really talking about that. But had he gone back to the tee and tried to rip another big drive around that dogleg right, he could be right back there. So right, because he ends up hitting out and making par, right? And so they gave him 2, so it was a 6. Like there's a very good chance he's making, if he goes back to the tee, 6, he's probably just going to make a 6. So he got what he deserved. He broke a rule. He knows he broke the rule, right? Then that's the thing. He didn't say that he didn't know it was a rule, which would be an admission of stupidity, right? Because he's a genius. Like maybe I don't know the rule, maybe you don't know the rule, so that doesn't make us stupid. But for someone like him, it does make him stupid if he says, "Oh, I didn't know that was a rule." Oh, really? Okay. So if he knows it's a rule and he didn't care, he disregarded the rule and he did it anyway, it's cheating. There's nothing else to call it but cheating. You knew you couldn't do it, you did it anyway. And how do we know, right? Because he insisted that they go back to the spot, and he's got the rules officials, and he's standing there, and we see it on TV. And he's saying, I can't go back there. I can't go back there. Like, why can't I can't go back there? And then he's standing back there, and he's like, how am I supposed to see the line? How am I supposed to see the line? Okay, well, in the rules of golf, nowhere in the rules of golf does it say that you're entitled to seeing the line, right? And he's an entitled baby. Okay, I don't care. If you're a Bryson fan and you love him and this hurts your feelings, or maybe he sees it hurts his feelings. I don't care, dude. I think you cheated. I have eyes. I can make my own opinion. I think you did it intentionally. There's no other explanation. You knew what you were doing. You did it on purpose. You cheated, and then you were arguing that well, how was I supposed to get back there? That's what he said. Like, how am I supposed to come back here to see my line if I don't trample on this stuff? So he admitted that he trampled on it, right? He never denied that he never said, "Oh, I didn't do that." He said, "I did do it. And the reason I did it is so I could see my line." But you're not entitled to see your line. Okay? If he's this math wizard, you're telling me a math wizard couldn't come up? Like, I didn't need to stand back here to see. Right? You have a caddy. Your caddy could go down there and stand. Your caddy could go stand way out here. And he could stand right at his ball. And his caddy could go down there and be like, and look and see him and then come back and go, "Yeah, you want to aim at that tree." Like his caddy could do that. He could do that. He could have walked and stood. He could have stood here and looked at his line. Then it wouldn't have affected the swing. Okay? He could have gone behind that grass that was right there. Right? 5, 6 yards, 7 yards, however. He could have gone behind it and looked, and that wouldn't have been a penalty. But no, he opted to go right here, right where he made himself an area where he could swing. And he admits to that. He admits, he doesn't deny that he didn't go back there. He was arguing, I can't go back here. I should be allowed to go back here. No, you shouldn't. If you hit one out of bounds into the trees, and right, like, well, if you stand behind the tree, you can't see. Oh, how am I going to pick my line? There's a big tree here. You don't like. Can we chop the tree down? No, you don't get to chop the tree down. Right? He 100% knew what he was doing. He 100% knew that he couldn't walk back there. He couldn't trample any of that stuff down. You're telling me that the genius of all genius couldn't walk up. Oh man, I could. Oh well. Like you telling me that let's say it was all tall still, and he couldn't swing, but he could pick a line. Even if you let's just say you couldn't pick a line. Well, what if I had to play over to here? I mean, he could see over there, right? Maybe he doesn't get to see this direct line. Well, you shouldn't be out of bounds. But you could have been like, well, everything over there is okay. Give me my sand wedge. Let me hit one 67. This is 80. I mean, I don't know if my ball is exactly where his ball was. I think it is. But he could have just wedged one over here, right? But no, he's an entitled baby. He wanted to be like, he's trying to win. Well, I need to be able to hit this, to the green, right? And so he cheated. He cheated. He knows he cheated. He knows it, right? And then he threw a tantrum. Well, maybe I won't play tomorrow. Maybe I'll quit. Dude, quit that, right? I feel for those rules officials because they were in the right. He cheated. He definitely cheated. And if they didn't say something, and all the other golfers, Scottie Scheffler included, would have been cheated, right? What if he would have gone on to beat Scottie Scheffler by one? What if he shot 12 under, Scottie Scheffler shot 11 under? I wonder how Scottie Scheffler would have felt about that. Did he cheat or not? Right? It doesn't matter now, right? They must be boys, which is weird. I guess it's not that weird. If you really listen to Scottie, it's probably not that weird. They probably are boys. But anyway, cheating, if you're 100, 110 player, 90 player, you're just out, I highly recommend cheating. I do. I'm going to do a video on that. I highly recommend cheating. If you are playing in the Open Championship for millions of dollars, claret jug, all this, everything, dude, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine if it was me and I cheated and I knew I cheated and I won. I couldn't imagine like the rest of my life just knowing that I cheated to win the Open. Some people are just crappy people and they would laugh about it for years. It would never bother them. It would bother me. And it bothers me that like people are defending it, right? Some people like you go and people are talking about, I haven't hit a ball yet, but it's this shot. People were like, well, what about when Tiger had them move that brick? What about it? Like when I commented on the internets, like, oh, he cheated. People were like, well, what about that? Yeah, I think he cheated too. I would think that was cheating. But like when Tiger did that, there was a rules official there that said that's a loose impediment, and if somebody could move it, I think he probably thought it like, who the hell could move it? And so he just said anything. And when those dudes came over to move it, now that I think that rules official like realized, oh boy, I just made a huge mistake, and now he's on the hook for it. And they moved it, and Tiger won. And like the whole field could have just said, hey, that was like, we all think he cheated, but no one did. Because Tiger was making everyone so much more money. Like before Tiger came on the scene, like the best guy made like $1 million in like a year. And then when Tiger came on the scene, like 5 years later, like the 100th guy made $1 million, right? Crazy stuff. But like, so nobody was really mad at Tiger for just making everyone rich. But I think Tiger, it was cheating. I think it was cheating when Tiger did it. Did Tiger cheat? The guy told him if somebody could move it, he didn't realize that a whole bunch of drunk dudes were going to come out of the stands in Scottsdale and move it. But like, what do those two things have to do with each other? Did Tiger cheat? Yeah, okay, he cheated. Bryson still cheated. It doesn't take away from Bryson, right? Like this whataboutism. Well, what about this guy? What about that guy? They went back and dude, Tiger played in the Masters, and he hit a sick shot on 15, hit the pin, and it rolled off into the water. And he had to go back. It was a sick shot, and he penalty, and he had to go back and play. And he played from like a foot away from where it was supposed to be. And some dude went and looked at it on TV and called. I don't even know who he called, but he called, and they were like 2-shot penalty, and then he loses the Masters, right? And so if like a dude can call from home and take away the Masters from Tiger Woods, the actual rules officials, the R&A. They could see it with their own eyes happen as it went and go, huh, that looked like cheating. And, and then they talked to him about it, and he like, oh yeah, I did, but then he acts like he didn't mow it down, even though he admits that he was back there. He mowed it down this way, and then he was like this, right? And then he was doing one of these or whatever. I don't think he did exactly that, but he was doing something, and he was being cute. He knew what he was doing. And then when he went to get behind the ball again, he did this. And he did it again. And he went back the other way, just to make sure that it was matted down. Let me see, I'm going to hit this. 136. This is going to be the end of it. And I don't know what to tell you about. I believe he cheated. Blatantly cheated. Because it's cheating if you know that you were breaking the rule. If you didn't know you were breaking the rule, it's not cheating. You broke a rule, but it's not cheating. If you knew the rule and you still did it, it's cheating. It's tough out of there. He hit a good shot though. We'll give him that. He hit a good shot. Anyway, thanks for watching. I know there wasn't a lot of golf in there, but I don't know, man. Everybody else is talking about it. I'm going to talk about it too. Why not? Peace. Thank you. I love the game. I appreciate the game. I don't want to see people ruin the game and make the game about themselves and just not about the game. And I feel like that guy, that's what he was trying to do. I think he got his feelings hurt by all the talk, and he was going to do anything to win. Anything to win. And some people say that that's like a good thing. Like if you're not cheating, you're not trying. That's not me. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching.